The boomerang effect, how helping others propels your own success. Welcome, dear listeners, to another riveting episode of the Black CEO podcast. Today, we're diving deep into a concept that might just flip your perspective on success upside down. But before we jump in, I want to give a shout out to the incredible Syreeta Jones, whose wisdom and insights form the backbone of our discussion today. Syreeta isn't just a visionary leader. She's a force of nature in the realm of personal development and community empowerment. Her work has touched countless lives, inspiring individuals to reach heights they never thought possible while simultaneously lifting others up. Syreeta's impact on making this world a better place isn't just remarkable, it's downright revolutionary. Now, let's get down to business. Have you ever felt like you're running on a hamster wheel, chasing success, but never quite catching it? What if I told you that the key to unlocking your potential isn't hidden in some secret self-help book or a fancy productivity app? What if it's been right in front of you all along, disguised as something we often overlook in our quest for personal achievement? Here's the kicker. When you help others, you help yourself. I know. It sounds like something you find inside a fortune cookie, right? But stick with me because we're about to embark on a journey that could revolutionize the way you view success, happiness, and personal growth. In a world obsessed with self-promotion and individual achievement, the idea of putting others first might seem, well, a bit bonkers. Trust me, I've been there. I've climbed the corporate ladder, chased the big bucks, and played the game of me, myself, and I. But what if I told you that by shifting your focus outward, you could actually turbocharge your own growth and success? Let's break this down into three key areas that Syreeta emphasized during our mind-blowing conversation: empowerment through support, resilience and adaptability, and the power of authenticity and community. These aren't just feel-good buzzwords, folks. They're practical strategies that can revolutionize your approach to life and work. First up, empowerment through support. Buckle up because I'm about to share a story that'll knock your socks off. Meet Syreeta Hector, a dance artist and educator who faced more hurdles than a track and field Olympics. Imagine being a young, passionate dancer, but constantly feeling like you're wearing a neon sign that screams, "I don't belong here." That was Syreeta's reality. She faced racial discrimination that could have crushed her dreams faster than you can say pirouette. But here's where it gets interesting. Enter Miss Alicia Long Allen, a teacher who didn't just see a student, she saw a star waiting to shine. Miss Allen didn't just teach dance steps. She provided a safe space for Syreeta to embrace her identity fully. She was like a gardener, nurturing a rare and beautiful flower that others had overlooked or tried to uproot. And boy, did that flower bloom. Syreeta didn't just survive in the dance world, she thrived. She became a successful dance artist and educator in her own right. But here's the real showstopper. She created a powerful work called Black Ballerina. This isn't just a dance piece. It's a statement, a challenge to societal norms, and an inspiration for others to embrace their identities regardless of the barriers they face. Now, let's pause for a second and imagine a world where Miss Allen had been too busy, too focused on her own career to nurture Syreeta's talent. We might have lost out on the incredible contributions Syreeta has made to the world of dance and to the broader conversation about identity and belonging in the arts. It's like that old saying about butterflies and hurricanes. One small act of kindness can create a tsunami of positive change. This story illustrates a crucial point. When we support others, we're not just helping them. We're creating a ripple effect that can transform entire communities and industries. And here's the beautiful part. In the process of lifting others, we often find ourselves rising too. Miss Allen's legacy isn't just in her own dance career, it's in every life she touched, every student she empowered, including Syreeta. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's all well and good, but I've got my own problems to deal with. I don't have time to be everyone's cheerleader. I get it. Life can be overwhelming sometimes. But here's the thing. Supporting others doesn't mean sacrificing yourself. It's not about ignoring your own needs or dreams. Instead, it's about recognizing that our individual success and our collective well-being are deeply interconnected. It's about understanding that by lifting others, we create a rising tide that lifts all boats, including our own. Let's shift gears and talk about resilience and adaptability. These aren't just fancy words to throw around at motivational seminars. They're essential skills in today's world where change is the only constant. And guess what? Helping others is like a secret weapon for developing these qualities. Let me introduce you to Dr. Frances Richards, a BIPOC entrepreneur who faced more obstacles than a video game character. As a Black woman in the business world, Dr. Richards encountered systemic barriers and personal setbacks that could have sent her packing. But instead of throwing in the towel, she used these challenges as fuel for growth. Dr. Richards emphasized the importance of learning from failures and viewing setbacks as opportunities. Now, I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done, right? But here's the kicker. Dr. Richards didn't just overcome these challenges for herself. She shared her story, her strategies, and her hard-won wisdom to guide other entrepreneurs on their journeys. By opening up about her struggles and triumphs, Dr. Richards created a roadmap for others facing similar obstacles. And in the process of helping others navigate the treacherous waters of entrepreneurship, she reinforced her own resilience and adaptability. It's like the old saying goes, if you want to master something, teach it. But there's more to this story. Dr. Richards' willingness to be vulnerable and share her experiences didn't just help others, it created a community of support around her. And that community, in turn, became a source of strength and inspiration for her own continued growth. It's like she built a human shield of mutual support and encouragement. This brings us to our third key point: the power of authenticity in community. In a world that often encourages us to put on a mask, to present a polished, perfect version of ourselves, there's incredible power in being real, in showing up as our authentic selves. Let me share a fascinating example of this principle in action, a podcast called The Exit Interview. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking, oh, great, another podcast, hear me out. This isn't your run of the mill, feel good chat show. This podcast tackles a tough, often overlooked issue: the stories of Black educators who have been pushed out of the classroom. The creators of this podcast didn't shy away from the hard truths. They dove headfirst into the challenges faced by Black educators, the systemic barriers, the racial battle fatigue, the personal toll of fighting an uphill battle day after day. But they didn't stop at highlighting the problems. They used this platform to emphasize the need for self-care, community healing, and authentic relationships. By creating a space for these educators to share their stories openly and honestly, the podcast did something remarkable. It fostered a sense of community and support among Black educators. It validated their experiences and gave voice to struggles that had often been silenced or ignored. But here's the really cool part. The impact of this podcast extended far beyond its immediate audience. It sparked broader conversations about authenticity, community, and wellness in professional settings. It challenged listeners to think critically about the structures and systems they're part of and to consider how they might create more inclusive, supportive environments. And you know what? The people behind the podcast, the educators who shared their stories, the listeners who engaged with this content, they all grew from this experience. By helping others through sharing their truths, they fostered their own growth, expanded their understanding, and in many cases, found new purpose and direction. So, what does all of this mean for you? How can you take these insights and apply them to your own life? Well, I've got a challenge for you. It's simple, but it has the potential to be life changing. I want you to identify one way, just one, that you can support someone else on their journey. Maybe it's mentoring a younger colleague at work. Perhaps it's volunteering your skills to a local nonprofit. It could be as simple as reaching out to a friend who's going through a tough time and really listening to them. Whatever it is, I want you to commit to it. Not just in a, yeah, that sounds nice kind of way, but really commit. Put it in your calendar, make it a priority. And here's the key: as you do this, pay attention to how it affects you. Notice the skills you develop, the new perspectives you gain, the ways in which this act of helping someone else challenges you to grow. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, I've got my own problems to deal with. I don't have time to focus on helping others. I get it. Life can be overwhelming sometimes. But here's the thing: helping others doesn't have to be a grand, time consuming gesture. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness, the briefest moments of genuine connection, can have the most profound impact both on the person you're helping and on yourself. Remember Syreeta Hector, the dancer we talked about earlier? Her teacher, Miss Allen, probably didn't set out to change the face of dance or to spark a movement. She simply showed up day after day and offered her support and encouragement to a student who needed it. And look at the ripple effect that had. Or think about Dr. Frances Richards. By sharing her story, by being open about her struggles and her successes, she's empowered countless other entrepreneurs to persevere in the face of adversity. And in the process, she's reinforced her own resilience and expanded her own opportunities. The beauty of this approach, this idea that when you help others, you help yourself, is that it creates a positive feedback loop. The more you invest in others, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more capacity you have to help others. It's a virtuous cycle that can transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. But let me be clear, this isn't about sacrificing yourself for others. It's not about ignoring your own needs or dreams. Instead, it's about recognizing that our individual success and our collective well being are deeply interconnected. It's about understanding that by lifting others, we create a rising tide that lifts all boats, including our own. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. A year from now, how will your life be different if you commit to this principle of helping others as a path to personal growth? Imagine the connections you'll make, the skills you'll develop, the sense of purpose and fulfillment you'll cultivate. Imagine the impact you could have on your community, your industry, maybe even the world. The choice is yours. You can continue on the path you're on, focusing solely on your own goals and challenges, or you can embrace this powerful principle that Syreeta Jones shared, that when you help others, you help yourself. You can tap into the transformative power of support, resilience, authenticity, and community. Remember, every great movement, every significant change starts with a single step. Your step might be small, a conversation, a helping hand, a moment of genuine connection. But don't underestimate its power. That single step could be the beginning of a journey that transforms not just your life, but the lives of countless others. So, as we conclude this talk, I challenge you, no, I dare you to take that step. Reach out, offer support, be authentically you, create community. And as you do, pay attention to how it changes you, because I promise you it will. The world doesn't need more people solely focused on their own success. It needs more connectors, more supporters, more people willing to lift others as they climb. Be that person. Start today. Start now. Remember, when you help others, you help yourself. It's not just a nice idea, it's a powerful strategy for personal growth and societal change. So go out there and make a difference for someone else and for yourself. The world is waiting for your contribution, and trust me, the rewards will be far greater than you can imagine. Thank you for your attention, your openness, and your willingness to consider a different path to success. Now go out there and start your own ripple effect of positive change. The world is waiting, and your journey of growth through giving starts now.